A lot of Americans were shocked by that rhetoric, but if you expanded your view, you realized that the rise of nationalism is taking place all over the world. In Austria, in Australia, in England, that was what Brexit was all about, right? They made it seem like it was about the economy, but it wasn't. The truth was, it was fundamentally people who wanted their country back. It never went anywhere, but they still wanted it back. I saw people on the news talking to the BBC. That's why I'm voting for Brexit. That's why I'm voting for Brexit, right? Because this bloody country is going to the dogs, right? This bloody country, and I want Britain back. That's why we're voting for Brexit, because we want Britain back. From who? From who? Britain is like 95% white. Who do you want it back from? People saying the weirdest things, the craziest things. These bloody immigrants, they come over here, they're up to no good, right? I hate these bloody immigrants, they need to go back to where they came from. But why do you hate them so much? I'll tell you why I hate them. I'll tell you why, right? Because they're not even trying to be British. That's why. They don't even try to be British, right? They come here, they bring their own bloody culture, right? They bring their own food, speak their own bloody languages, try to take over the whole bloody place. Well, that sounds British to me. I mean... If there's one country, if there's one nation in the world that has no right to complain about immigration, it's Great Britain. If there's one nation in particular, you do understand, they created the problem that they are now dealing with. They went out and colonized the world. At one point, half of the globe was controlled by the British Empire. Do you understand how insane that is? They went around colonizing from pillar to post. People didn't care about them. No one was trying to find the British. The British were the ones traveling the world, telling everyone of their existence, knocking on doors. Hey, we're the British, follow us. It's basically ancient Twitter, that's what that was. And I'm not saying the British are bad people, by the way. You know? I understand that colonization was something that was popular at one time. Many European countries participated in it. But the British were the best. You know? They were the best. It's not because they were bad. I think I blame it on the weather. That's what I think happened. I think they have bad weather, and bad weather makes you a bad person. Yeah, because if you think about it, there was no one from a tropical climate who was trying to take over the world. You don't ever hear stories of Caribbean conquerors. Yeah, there's no stories of like Troy the Terrible from Trinidad. You don't hear these stories. There's no need for that. When the weather's horrible, you want to go somewhere else and take it from somebody. If you're living in a beautiful paradise, you have no need to leave. Can you imagine that scene? Just some random handsome guys hanging out on a beach in the Caribbean. One looking at the other out of nowhere. Darius! What, Troy? I was thinking, bro. Stay with me here. I was thinking, right? We should build boats, sail around the world, and force everyone to dance calypso. It wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. The British colonized with class. They went all over the globe. And you know, colonization, we read about it now, and it seems normal, because it's in a history book. They colonize. But when you think about colonization, it is the strangest thing you can think about. Because conquering is one thing. You go to another country, you take what's theirs. You want more. You take the land, you take the resources, you kill the people. That I understand. But colonization, I don't condone, I understand. But colonization is strange, because you go there and you don't just take over. You then force the people to become you. That is such a strange concept. When you think about where the British did it, I mean, they did it in Africa, they did it in Asia. And think about in India. Those cultures could not be more diametrically opposed. And out of nowhere, the British just decided to roll up. Imagine what the Indians must have felt like on that day. Minding your own business, walking through a field. Next thing you know, the British showed up on horseback. Hear ye, hear ye. By order of Her Majesty the Queen, we have arrived. You over there, what is the name of this land? This land over here? This is called India. Well, my good man, I am here to tell you that India is now under the British Empire. And I'm glad that I can tell you that India is exactly where it was yesterday. No, I feel you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm letting you know that we're here to colonize you by order of the Queen. Who is the Queen? The Queen. The Queen of England, the ruler of Great Britain. She who was ordained by God. Which God? God. The one true God. There are many gods, my friend. What is the name of your God? There is only one God, and his name is God, and you too shall worship him. You want me to worship a God, but you don't want to tell me his name? What are you talking about? There are many gods, okay? There is Shiva, there is Lakshmi, there is Hare Krishna, there are many gods. What is the name of your God? His name is God. You don't know the name of your God? It's just God. Is it like mommy or daddy? You want me to worship your God, but you don't want me to tell me his name, huh? How am I going to pray to him? What do I do? Every morning I go to wake up and I pray like, oh, dear God, I was hoping that maybe God, you could help me. No, sorry, not you, other God. No, other God. No, not wrong God. No, God, I was trying to talk to other. No, you're right. I should have asked for her first name. No, God. No, other God, please. No, God behind that God. No, not you today, God. Other God. You're right. He told me he would know who I was talking to, and I don't. No, other God, please. That God on that. No, that God. Then I wonder why my prayers are not getting answered, huh? How dare you speak to me like that? Do you know who I am? No, because you never introduced yourself. I have come here representing Great Britain. And I have never heard of Great Britain. Who gave you that name? Well, we did. You called yourselves great? Isn't that a little presumptuous? Shouldn't you wait for other people to tell you how great you are? Huh? Shouldn't you just go around the world and just do good things? Then people go, oh my God, Britain, look how great you are. Well, I beg to differ. I believe we could do it because we knew instinctively. We are Great Britain. Well, in that case, welcome to Great India. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. How dare you speak to me like this? Look, you're the one who dares to speak to me, okay? I was here minding my own business in my land. You came over here riding on your skinny cow telling me that things are going to change. I don't know who you are. All I know is you are really crazy, okay? You're not feeling too right, and I didn't want to say anything, but you look like you're going to faint. In fact, it looks like you have died last week, okay? Something is very wrong with your skin. You're not looking good, my friend. Maybe you should come down. We have a curry. We talk about this. What are you talking about? I look quite normal. You do not look normal, my friend. I've never seen anybody with that complexion in my life, okay? You look like you're playing hide and seek with the sun your entire life. I don't know what is happening, but that is not how a person should look, huh? I can see your veins pumping through your skin right now. Do you know how creepy that is? Pumping. If I was your doctor, I don't need X-ray machine. I just go, what is problem? It is your kidney. How do I know? Because you're translucent. That is how I know. Damn you, we are going to run this country whether you like it or not. We are not going to do anything you tell us. You're a madman. We are going to take it. You're not taking. We're going... She's all yours. Take. Don't play nice. Take. And that's how the British took over. That's how they took over India. And then, many years later, the British, after they were done pillaging, left and went back home. And so it only stands to reason that those Indians who they had now made British, would seek out the land from whence they came. I don't understand why British people are complaining, going, why are they coming here? Why the hell are you coming here? Because you told us how great it was, so we came to see for ourselves. No. Go back to where you came from. Go back. You're not welcome here. This is not your home. But you said we are all part of the British Empire. No, when I said part, I meant you are under us, right? We're the British. You are the empire. What do you mean? We are the British and you are the empire. Okay, well in that case, the empire strikes back. Now make some curry and tell me where we're sitting, okay? Let's go, let's... Country, around the world, really, I've been blessed. And I remember one day, I'm in LA, and I'm doing a show, and we're sitting backstage, and this comedian comes in to the backstage area, and he's got a list of all the guys that are performing. And so he looks around, and he looks at the darkest guy in the corner, just the blackest guy he could find, and he goes, hey, yo, you the dude from Africa? And the guy looks up and he's like, nah, man, I'm from Detroit. He's like, all right, my bad. Yo, okay, Detroit, yeah, you, okay, cool, LA, okay, cool. And then he looks at me for a second, does a quick calculation, and he's like, and then he looks and he goes, yo, where you from, man? I said, I'm from South Africa. He's like, oh, you the dude? Oh, damn, man, damn, I didn't even know they got, you the dude from Africa? Man, I didn't even know they got light-skinned niggas out there, man. Damn, yo, that's the motherland, man. That's the motherland. And all of a sudden, he just started giving me this speech. He was like, man, that's where we gotta be, man. That's the motherland out there, man. Yeah, I got to get out there, man. I got to go home, man. You heard? I got to go home. Man, you tell them, all right? You tell them I'm coming home, all right? And I was like, no, we're not waiting. Because I'm fascinated. I think that whole identity has come from the term African American. This is something that's fascinated me. It's the very loose term, African American. Because half of the time you use it for people that aren't even African. Just use it as long as you're black, they go African American. But what if people aren't from Africa and they're still African American? There's people from the Caribbean, from Haiti, from Jamaica. They call it, African American. Guy's like, no man, I come from Jamaica, I never from Africa. I ain't never been there before, man. He's like, you want to stay? African American, man. Yeah. The prefix to American has become as important as American itself. I thought it was just American, but it's not. No, it's very important. You have the prefix. You have African American. You have others like Latin or Mexican American. You have Asian American. You have the most interesting for me was Indian American, which I learned about during Thanksgiving. Indian American. And then I was told I'm no longer allowed to say this. He said, I now have to say Native American, which is redundant, is it not? Because if somebody's a native of the land they're still in, should you not then just call them American? How does that work? It was the strangest conversation to have, sitting around carving the turkey and just going, I don't understand. I can't say Indian American. He's like, no, Trevor, you look, you don't want to say that. You want to say Native American. It's a better term. I go, well, who called them Indian American? Well, we did. Oh, I see. And then who changed it? Well, we did. I see. And you guys feel bad, son? Yeah, much better. Much better. This is the craziest thing in the world, changing it, the prefix. And I don't mean to offend anyone. As Americans, I hope I see some guys looking at me like, okay, move on, guy, move on. Yeah. Because that's the one thing, because the one thing I noticed is white people in America, you never got the prefix. What happened there? You guys got left out? Oh, that's horrible. And it's a first. There's nothing? You guys don't get a prefix? No. Sir, you don't want one? No, no? Just American? No? Euro-American? No? No? Although, I mean, to be honest, Europeans would be like, no, they are not from us, please. No. No culture, they are not European. So then I get Anglo from the British. Anglo-American, is that more? No, you don't want Anglo. I don't know, Anglo-colonial American, is that... Imperial American? Death Star American? No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I'm still searching for the answer. My two favorites so far have been, I was traveling in the South, and a gentleman shouts it out. He said, "You can call us Super American." So, very well. And my favorite was a man in Atlanta who looked at me and he said, "Why don't you call us Honky American?" And I'd never heard of that term. I'd never heard of the word honky before. Because isn't honky the same thing you use for like your car? That's like, and the thing that clowns use, honk honk, that's honky. That's the most honky American. That sounds like a bad children's character for white imperialists, It's like there's Barney, there's Ronald McDonald, and there's honky. This is like, this coming out singing to all the white kids, "It's honky, it's honky. He's gonna teach you how to be white honky. It's honky. Remember, kids, white is right. It's honky, it's honky." It's the craziest thing ever, honky. I really don't, please don't get offended. If you're American and you're offended, I really hope that I'm not offending you. I mean this because I am scared of you. No, really. The world, you don't understand. The world is shit scared of America. Like America, because you guys, you've been fighting wars since World War II? You guys haven't stopped. Like America, no, it's true. America's just like the most badass. America's like that really buff guy on the beach, just like not messing around, just walking around. Just like, you do not mess with America. It's like, if America catches you building a sandcastle, like, "What are you doing?" No, America, it's not what it looks like. It's like, "Ah! Ah!" The only time people build sandcastles is when they're gonna attack. Stop that! Is that a bucket? No! America's like, America's that super, because you guys have the best army in the world, and you say, America's that big guy that walks down the hallway, and the rest of the countries just stand on the side. Just like, don't make eye contact, don't make eye contact, don't make eye contact, don't make eye. And as America walks past, like, America's like, "What was that? What was that? Iran? Did you fart?" No, America, I'm sorry. Yes, I fart just a little bit. I'm sorry, America. Iran, were you farting at me? No, America, no, I don't fart at you. I just fart just by myself. Just fart on the back, not to the front. To the front, I say sorry. Please, America. Iran, was that a nuclear fart? No. Not nuclear fart, just beans. Lots of beans fart. Beans. No nuclear, America. Please. I'm gonna come in there. No, don't come in, America, please. Just fart. I'm sorry.
Hey there. Thanks for watching. Now, all I need you to do is click on that little circle on your screen. Yeah. That one. Oh, yeah, just like that. Hold on. Yeah, click. Nice.
I love Mexican food. I love Mexican people. I don't even know what it is. I think it's just people, we have a connection, I don't know, South Africans and Mexicans or something. People from shithole countries, we have this thing. I still can't believe the things Donald Trump says. He's for me, Donald Trump is an emotional paradox, I'm not gonna lie. Logically I can process him, emotionally I struggle. On the one hand, I will admit I wake up many days terrified at the notion that he's president of the most powerful nation in the world. But I also must admit, I wake up many days knowing he's going to make me laugh. Yeah, there's terror and there's joy, and I don't know how to feel. You know what it feels like sometimes? It feels like there's a giant asteroid headed towards the Earth, but it's shaped like a penis. Like, I think I'm going to die, but I know I'm going to laugh. You just look at everything that he does. The world we now live in because of him. Like, you realize we're living through history. This will never happen in our lifetimes again. We're living through a time when we're all learning about the presidency at the same time as the president. That's never happened. How wild is that concept? You wake up every day reading the news, and you're like, wow, I didn't know that. And somewhere at that exact same moment, he's reading the same news going, wow, me too. And nobody knows where it's going to lead. Nobody knows what he's going to do. All we know is that he wants his wall. He wants his wall. Donald Trump wants his wall. He needs $25 billion the last time he asked. He needs it from American taxpayers because Mexico is smart. That fell apart real quick. I remember how confident he was at the rallies, people cheering for him. He was like, folks, we're going to build. We're going to build a wall, folks. Who's going to pay? Mexico. And Mexico was like, we ain't paying for shit, man. We might build it, but we're not going to pay for it, man. And I don't know if you've been following the journey of the wall, but it's probably the best comedy on TV, right? Because now they've started building prototypes of the wall at the border, right? Because Donald Trump said he wants them to test the wall first. I don't know how you do that. You know, it's just like, try again. And because this is the prototypes, Donald Trump now has specifications for the wall. He now says he wants the wall to be made out of concrete, but he also needs the wall to be see-through, right? And the reason the president wants the wall to be see-through is because he said he's afraid that drug dealers from Mexico are going to shoot bags of drugs over the wall and it's going to hit Americans on the head as they walk by. So he needs the wall to be see-through so that Americans can see the drugs coming and catch it. Now, I'm not going to lie. I don't know what a see-through wall is. But at this point, I'm just worried that a contractor is going to come along and trick the president. He's going to take him to the border and be like, there it is, Mr. Trump. Your invisible wall. And then just to make sure he buys it, he's going to hire a troop of Mexican mimes just to be like, oh my God, you can't get through it. It works. Like the mind of Donald Trump. Oh, the other idea he had for the wall was he said America should build the wall out of solar panels. That's what he said. He said America should build the wall out of solar panels because that way the wall would generate electricity and pay for itself. Yeah. Now, I'm not going to lie. That's a good idea, right? It's a good idea. Unless you know anything about solar panels or the sun or walls. Because the problem with that idea is that the sun is up. Yeah? We'll agree on that. We're still on the same page there. Yeah? The sun is up, right? A solar panel wall is not going to work because a wall is like this. So technically it's facing down. So unless you have like a really swaggy sun that's like, yeah, I shine real low, B, it's not going to work for you. The only way it works is if you take your border solar panel and lean it at an angle to get the sun's rays. But if you do that, now you've just created a giant ramp for Mexicans to shoot into America. It's like, órale! The mind of Donald J. Trump. The J stands for Jesus. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, a lot of self-loathing going on there. And he's always going after someone, right? He's always going after someone. If it's not Mexicans, it's Muslims. If it's not Muslims, it's Africans from shithole countries. And that one was my favorite personally, because I am an African and I've shat in a hole. I also liked it because like people came up to me and asked me questions. There was one man who came up to me after a show, really concerned. He was like, Trevor, hey, could I ask you a question? I said, yeah, go ahead, my friend. He said, hey, Trevor, I just wanted to know when Donald Trump says all these horribly racist things, do you sometimes just want to, pack it up, leave America, go back to South Africa and escape all this racism? I said, my friend, you don't go to South Africa to escape racism. That's where you go to stock up. Are you kidding me? That's the one thing that reminds me of home. Racism out here. Because we've got tons of racism in South Africa. And don't get me wrong, it's gotten a lot better. You know, when I was growing up, we had apartheid. And, you know, apartheid was basically the best racism in the world. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I mean, now you're going to feel bad and be like, oh, racism was the best. No, it wasn't. It was good, but not the best. And I experienced a bunch of racism, and everyone did. I never felt like it was a bad thing, mostly because of my family. You know, my mother is a black woman, Xhosa woman. My father's Swiss from Switzerland. And them being a couple was against the law, and that was a problem for us living together. And so we experienced a ton of racism. And in case you're wondering, yes, Xhosa is one of the languages with the clicks in it, right? Xhosa, but not like in American movies, just so you know. Yeah, I've seen those movies where they have Africans and they're like, that's not a language. Yeah, even we watch those movies and we're like, I wonder what they are saying, yeah? Where are they from? I think they're from Cleveland.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can win cool prizes. And by prizes, I mean surprise. There's no prizes. It's a free YouTube video, you greedy. Just click the video, man. Why you want free things on free things?
Do you guys have any questions or anything? You do? What took me so long to get to Baltimore? The traffic. No, I'm joking. Because the show was postponed. Yeah, so we had some knock-on postponements because I think one was COVID. Was it what? Was it Chris Rock? I like you. What's happening? Like, bring me into your world. Wait. Tell me more. The week I was supposed to perform in March. A week later, Chris Rock filmed his special where he addressed getting slapped. Did Chris Rock knock me off? No. I love that you were watching all of this and you were like, ooh. This is amazing. You thought Chris Rock knocked me out of Baltimore and then I couldn't perform because of him. That's amazing. No, Chris, first of all, Chris would never do that to me. Like, as comedians, especially comedians who are friends, we do a good job of knowing where everyone's performing. But I really love this idea. You thought I had beef. I was sitting there. You were watching Chris Rock's thing, waiting for me to come out and slap him. Keep my week out your month. So, okay, so you from here, and I'm assuming you as well. Who drove in? It's amazing to hear the difference in pitch. When I said, who's from Baltimore, I was like, woo. And then who drove in, you're like, woo! We get to leave. You had a very different tone and pitch. No, I've had a good time. You know, the aquarium was fun. You know, yeah. The aquarium's beautiful. Took like a walk. There's a lot of history out here as well. Like everywhere you go, you're like, damn, that happened here. That person's from here. This thing, you're like, wow. It's pretty impressive. You know, a lot of it historical, but still, you know. No, it is pretty impressive. First black governor. Congratulations. Wait, are you the first black governor? Or you? No, I don't know. You could have just been telling me that, like, I'm first black governor. I don't know. When was the first black governor? Now? That's pretty wild. Oh, wait, Wes is here? That's here? Oh, damn. Oh, I wondered where Wes was. Okay. Oh, damn. It's pretty wild that in 2023 there's still like first black anything. No, you would have thought by now that would just be like, you know, second. Oh, there we go. Damn, that person's like, he's the second! I am the first! Like how we've got all the governors here. Me, damn you! don't you dare steal my legacy. You look very tall, Jordan. You play basketball? Football. Oh, okay. That makes sense. There's a weird statistical, it's basically just like a rule in America. Once you are above a certain height, I think it's like 6'5" or 6'6", then statistically you are a pro athlete in one of the sports. No, it's true. It's true. It just is. It's like once you get beyond a certain height, it means that you've probably played one of the sports at a high level, college or further. So it's like that's why I asked you the question. So you play football?
I did.
You did play football? Like American football? Oh, I don't. You like I don't do soccer, man. I like that. I don't do soccer. Not I don't play soccer. Not I haven't played. I don't do soccer. I loved watching football as a kid growing up. And we never had American football in South Africa, right? But we would see it in movies and we never knew what was happening. Like it was amazing because we'd like watch it on TV, and we wouldn't see the full games. There would just be moments and sometimes in movies, and then we would try and do it ourselves because we loved American culture. And then we would just like stand there together as kids and we're like, "No, Denby! No, Denby! Yep, 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 yep." I love that. I love that you played football and you're like I don't do soccer. So what position did you play in football? DB. Say again? DB. Cornerback. What does the DB have to do with cornerback? How does that work? No, I'm ignorant. Help me out. What is DB? Defensive back. Okay, so, and this is a stupid question, I know. So you're playing on defense. Okay, so wait, help me, because I know, I'm familiar with all the people, I just don't know like the actual like designate. So were you the guy who's like doing this while the other guy's trying to catch the ball? Yes? That, I love your position. You're like a professional hater, that's what you are. I always think everyone in life has that person where you're like trying to do something in your life, you're like, I can do it, and someone else is like, no, you're not gonna make it, no. It's such a fun position. I actually think that's the best position, because if you're catching, it's stressful, you gotta catch the ball, you gotta do the whole thing with your tippy toes every time you get it. That's my favorite moment in football. Like it's my favorite moment because football has the most range of any sport I've ever seen, right? It's like in the beginning, it's like, hot, yeah, boom, bah. But then when they catch the ball, it's always like, ah. I love that. It's adorable. It's such a beautiful range. It's like a little tippy toe thing at the end. But your job is fun. Because your job, you don't have to like catch the thing. You just have to run really fast and then just like get the guy. I like that. Were you good? Yeah? I like that. Jordan was like, of course. Of course I was. That's a dope sport, man. It's really exciting. It's crazy and scary, but it's fun. It's fun. And so you're done now in life. Not in life like that. No. Don't be like that. What I mean is like no more football. No more. Okay. So I see you here with a lovely lady. Who is this, Jordan? Michelle? I like how you're not like, you don't give her a designation. No, and not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Watch out for your phone. I like that. I'm like, who is this? And you're like, Michelle? Most people would say, this is my girlfriend, this is my wife. You're like, no, this is Michelle. And I'm Jordan. Your girlfriend. Okay, I wasn't trying to pressure you at all. I wasn't trying to pressure you. How are you, Michelle? You doing well? How did you two meet? Hinge? Oh, look at you. Oh, congratulations. That's a beautiful matchup. What did you like about his profile, Michelle? Say again? His height? Wow. You know what I love? I love how like women can just like say something like that and just carry on with their day. Because like, let's be honest, if like I asked Jordan, if it's like, what do you like? And he was like, her boobs. People would be like, no, hey, boo. Come on, man. Say something else. And you were like, he was tall. I'm picturing you before that moment, Michelle. You were just spending the day in the house, walking around. A few things you wanted hung up. You got on Hinge, and you're like, yep, that's him. That's him. You had flashbacks to your future. All those items in the supermarket you could never buy before. That's adorable. So what was it for you, Jordan? What did you like? Say again? Personality. Look at this guy. Huh? Look at that. I think we treated Joe Biden like shit. Like, people just treated Joe Biden like absolute trash, and for what? Nothing. The man just got old. That's literally all he's guilty of. He got old. And people, they were like, oh my God, have you seen Joe Biden these days? He's so old. You're like, yeah. That's what happens. You get older as a person. I can't believe how old he is. I'm like, yo, when you voted for him, it's not like he was 20. People make it seem like he pulled like a magic trick and then all of a sudden flipped into an old man. He came in as an old man, and then now he was a slightly older man, and people are like, oh my God, I can't believe him. Why does he think he can be president? Because you told him he could. People were so shitty to Joe Biden. Then they were just like pulling at strings. I mean, like, God, you see the other day he forgot. He like forgot where he was. He said the wrong city. He said Rotterdam. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, people do that all the time, especially when you're older. Yeah, because think of it this way. It's not even about like old as in your brain is like, is degrading. Think about how much information you have consumed by that point in your life. Think about how many names you've heard, how many places you've been, how many stories. Of course some things are going to get jumbled up. It's like, yeah, the person's old. He was just old. That's all Joe Biden is. He's old. You'd be like, yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. It's not that my grandmother, my grandfather, they would forget or switch my name with my siblings' names all the time. I'm sure you had that. Right? They're just like, my grandmother, sometimes she'd be like, Andrew. And I'll be like, no, Trevor. And she'd be like, Yeah, when she did that, there was no point where I was like, she needs to step down. She's not fit to be my grandmother anymore. We treat old people like such shit in society. It's like we make it like they're disposable. It's like, you're old. All right, get out of the way. You're old now. It's over. He just got old. Yeah, and yes, the things that he did, they obviously, they don't make you comfortable. Don't get me wrong. Like, they'll throw you off. So, for instance, one of the big ones was he was at the G20, right? And he was introducing President Zelensky of Ukraine. And then he said,
it gives me a lot of pleasure to introduce to you right now the president of one of the most powerful presidents. I'm honored to introduce Vladimir Putin. Oh, no, I mean, and people are like, no, Joe, he's not fit to run this country. And I was like, yeah, he made a mistake. Think about how many times he says Putin, how many times he says, it's not like he said like a random, it's not like he was like, Idi Amin. No. He said, I get it, Putin, you know what I mean? Yeah, that can happen to you. It's a brain fart. And then people said the dumbest thing. Someone said to me, they were like, well, Trevor, what if it gets into a situation where he does something really bad? Like, he could make a mistake like that and he could bomb the wrong country. I was like, do you know how countries work? What do you mean he could bomb the wrong country? What, you think just Joe Biden's there with the keys to the jet? And he's just like, I gotta pop out and do something real quick. I gotta fly to Eastern Europe. And he's like, take that, Ukraine. No! I meant Russia! You know how much bureaucracy exists between Joe Biden and a country being bombed? Like, if he said, we gotta bomb Ukraine, they'd be like, you mean Russia? He'd be like, oh yeah, I mean Russia, of course. It's not like it just happens. It's not a thing. We treated him like such trash. He's like an old man, trying to fight for his country. That's all he was doing. And here's the thing, forget the politics. It was just like the old thing that was like, I was like, why are we doing this, man? The guy's just old.
He's not as sharp as he used to be. That's life. It's going to happen to all of us, hopefully. You know, if you get there, it'll happen to you. I'm like, Joe Biden, trash. And look, I will be fair and I will be honest. I think what didn't help was that his team didn't acknowledge that he was getting older. I don't think that helps. And that is a problem I have with like a lot of American political spin. They try and tell you that what you're seeing is not what you're seeing. You know? So like Joe Biden would like, he'd be like, and then people would be like, yo, he's getting older. And then his team would be like, Joe Biden is not getting older at all. In fact, he's younger than he's ever been. We're like, that's not how numbers work. The man is just getting older and older and older. Just say, yes, he's old. Just say he's old. Because, yeah, he was making some mistakes. One of the ones that, one of the big ones that threw people off was he would repeatedly bring up world leaders that he had recently had a conversation with, which is fine. The only issue was that those world leaders had long been dead. And that would throw people off, He'd be up there and he'd be like, I just had a conversation the other day with Chancellor Olaf. And people were like, Chancellor Olaf died 30 years ago. And they were like, oh no. Oh no, Joe Biden, oh no. And everyone's like, he's senile, he's got dementia, oh no, oh no, oh no. I understand why people thought that. I also should let you know, full disclosure, so we're completely honest in this room. I am biased, okay? I'm biased because I've met Joe Biden. I met him at an event called the White House Correspondents' Dinner, okay? And this event, you're there, the president is there. Because of the security and everything, you have to get there well ahead of time. So you spend time, you get to meet the president, you have a long conversation with him and the first lady, and then later on in the evening, you have another conversation, then after that, you have another conversation, and then after the event, you have another conversation. So in the span of like 5-6 hours, I got to speak to Joe Biden frequently. And I have nothing to gain from telling you this. The man's not running for president or anything. He's done. He's fully corpus mentis. He was with it. Slight speech impediment, yes, but otherwise he was with it. He could recall information. He kept up with the conversation. He was with me. He was lucid. It was fine. Do you know what I mean? Like he would talk to me. He's like, hey, Trevor, another thing in the country, and the things I dream for as Americans, and you do that thing, and it was fine. It's not like he talked to me and then like 3 hours later came back and he was like, Jackie Robinson! That didn't happen. So I don't know, I'll be honest, I have a different theory. I think, I don't think Joe Biden has dementia. I don't think he's senile. I just think Joe Biden is old. But I think he's so old that he can communicate with the other side. We don't consider that. But he's basically in that space between. That should have been their campaign, actually. Yeah, instead of saying he's not old, they should have doubled down. They should be like, you're damn right Joe Biden's old. He's the oldest president this country's ever had, and you should be grateful. Who better to protect the Constitution than someone who was there when they were writing it? But now he's out. And I'll be honest, I'm happy for him. I'm happy that Joe Biden gets to go out like this. I think, again, as an old person, you should have a dignified end. I think we've robbed old people of that in society, capitalism and whatever. It's like, no, it's nice to you've lived your life, you've done your thing, relax now, And Joe Biden feels more relaxed. I don't know if you've seen him recently. He just has like a different swag to him now. He just, yeah, it just feels like someone loosened up the joints, Because before, when you saw Joe Biden, he was a little precarious, When you see him walk, he didn't inspire confidence. He stumbly and he always looked like a late stage Jenga tower, Which is probably why the Secret Service wasn't so good at protecting Trump or him. It's just, in their defense, they've been protecting geriatrics for the past decade. Of course, they're not in practice. When they're protecting young presidents, they're like, all right, everybody, look out for the shooter. Look out, because the danger's up. That's where you got to look. You got to look up there. When you're protecting old people, you're just like, all right, look at the ground. Where's the stairs? Where's the stairs? Where's the stairs? Look out, Mr. President. There's a dog that's shot here. Hold on. Come on. He's got a different sort. Joe Biden's got he's got a vibe now, man. The other day he was at it was like a little, not a rally, it was just a meeting with like a community somewhere. Some were Biden supporters, some weren't. He's just walking around greeting, hey, how you doing over there? Good to see you. How you doing? And there's a guy sitting wearing a Trump hat, right? Wearing a Trump hat. And Joe Biden comes like, hey, how you doing, man? And he's like, I don't like you. And Joe Biden's like, oh yeah, I don't like you either. And I was like, oh, who's this guy? Who's this guy? He's like, oh yeah, I don't like you either. I don't like you. He's like, you're old. He's like, oh, you want to talk? Look at you, you're old. And he just started like trading with this guy. Back, wasn't presidential. He wasn't like, oh, well, I see why you feel. It's like, nah, man, you old as shit. Look at your face. Like, goddamn. He's like, you old. You're just old. I'm old and I'm president, bitch. He just had like a different like vibe to him. You're like, what? And the guy was wearing a Trump hat, and then he said something to Biden, something along those lines. He's like, yeah, well, that hat. And Joe Biden's like, come on, wear my hat. And then he's like, no. He's like, would you wear this one? And Joe Biden's like, yeah, I'll wear your hat. Give me the hat. And he takes the hat, and he puts the Trump hat on. And he's like, yeah. And that guy, you should have seen that guy's face. He was like, wah. Because he thought maybe like Biden would like burn or something. I don't know. Just turned to, he was like, wah. He's like, I like you a lot more now. And then Joe Biden just walked away. He just had like his swag. He's like, all right, man, I see you, man. I'm happy for him. That's how everyone deserves to leave, you know? It's nice. And now it means he's out of it, but we're in it. You know, now the world, everyone in the world, because America's elections are the world's elections. You know, now see what happens. Now it's Kamala Harris instead. Yeah, that's good. Oh, is it a woo? Is it a woo for you? Okay. Wait. But what does it mean? What is it? Woo like I'm excited, or woo it's gonna happen?
It's happening.
It's happening. Damn, look at you. All right. Where do you live? Phoenix. Oh, damn. Okay, Arizona's important. No, Arizona's important. Because if you said like New York, I'd be like, rah. But if you say you're feeling it and it's in Phoenix, okay. Because Kamala Harris is not going to be easy. I hope everyone understands that. You know, America has not shown itself to have a propensity to voting for new things. It really has not. And this is very new. Very, very new. You know, because Kamala Harris is a woman. Yes. And she's black. And Indian. Yeah. Now you realize Obama was level 1. America was so proud of itself. Thought it had clocked the game. That was the easiest level in the game. It was like Mario Brothers level 1. It was like, let's do this thing. Blip, 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 whoop, Hawaii, blip, 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 whoop, Hussein, blip, 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 whoop, Kenya, blip, 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 kruk, 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 yes we can, blip, 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 blip. I was like, yeah, we did it, yeah, woo. And then Kamala Harris stepped up, and then it was like blip, 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 blip. Blip, 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 blip. Blip, 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 blip. Oh, man. You guys have been so much fun, man. Thanks for coming out tonight. I had a great time with all of you. Good night, y'all.
One more time, man. Show some love, man. Trevor Noah.
I'm having more fun in my life now than I think I've ever had. I'm enjoying America more now than I've ever enjoyed it. Every day. I don't even know what it is. I think, you know what I think it's, you enjoy a place differently when it might be ending, you know? It just has like a different feeling to it. It's just like, what does that taste? The final season? Because you never know with America. You really never know. Every day is the best day and possibly the last day. I'm having an amazing time. I truly am. This year was such a blessing because I got to travel around the world doing shows in places I'd never performed before, places I've always wanted to do comedy, I've always wanted to try it out. Did shows in Berlin, Germany for the first time ever. That was really amazing. I won't lie, people freaked me out. People freaked me out before I went there. Like similar to Detroit, when people are like, oh, watch out, Detroit, watch out, Detroit. Like people were like that with Germany as well. Like when I was going to Berlin, people were like, dude, Germany? Do they laugh? I'm like, what do you mean? They're human beings. Like, I don't know, man. Do they laugh? People got to me. There was a point when I was heading to Germany where I was like, maybe Germans just sit in the audience like, aha, yeah, aha. That was a comedy show. But they don't. They laugh. They're actually great audiences. I had an amazing time in Berlin. It's a city that sneaks up on you because it's so culturally diverse. It has a burgeoning art scene, fantastic music. The history in Berlin is truly deep and rich. I love traveling and seeing places whenever I'm in certain cities. And in Berlin, I went out with like a tour group, and I had a great time. But I wish someone had warned me how painful a lot of like Berlin's history is, right? Because that was basically the headquarters of the Nazi Party. So like everything ties back to Hitler. I didn't know this. I thought we were going on like a cute little tour. I ask a lot of questions. I'm curious. This brought the mood down. And we're out and about. The tour guide was doing his shtick. He was happy as well. He was like, here behind me you can see this is one of the largest airports that was ever built in the world. Yeah, it is a world famous airport here in Berlin, and it is so large that they filmed the Hollywood movie, The Hunger Games, inside this airport. Yeah? Any questions? And I was like, yeah, wow, how old is this thing? He's like, this is almost 100 years old. I'm like, damn, and like who built it? Yeah, that is the unfortunate part of the story. This airport was built by Hitler. I could see I'd messed things up. I tried to bring the mood up. I was like, which Hitler? He's like, which Hitler? Which other Hitler is there? I was like, could be Henry Hitler. Henry Hitler? Who the hell is Henry Hitler? I was like, you don't know Henry Hitler? It didn't work. Like, yo, man. It was tense, but it was good. And what I mean by good is it was nice to be in a place where people don't bury their history. And what I mean by that, is that, like, when you travel through Germany, even if you don't go to museums, you cannot escape the past of both Berlin and what Germany did. There are monuments scattered throughout the city, prominent monuments. They're memorializing what Germany did to millions of Jewish people and millions of other people around the world. You see it, you understand it, they talk about it. They teach their kids about it. They teach children in school. They're like, hey, this is what Germany did. They make sure they know. But they don't make them feel guilty about it, which is a pretty amazing balance for them to strike, They'll say to the kids, they're like, hey, kids, I hope you understand. Germany did this. You're not responsible because you weren't there. However, because you're the future of Germany, it's your responsibility to make sure this doesn't happen again. You know what I loved about being in Germany when they were talking about their history is how forthright they are about it. They know it's painful. They know that it's a terrible blight on who they are, but they don't hide from it. Like when I saw them doing this, I was like, man, I wish America did this with history. Because you ever see how awkward it is speaking about history in America? It gets tense. Doesn't matter what history it is, it gets tense. Columbus Day is one of those days. Every year in New York, there's a fight. Every year. Here in Detroit, there was a fight. There was a bust of Christopher Columbus that was around for 110 years. At some point, half of Detroit was like, we need to get rid of it. The other half was like, no, don't get rid of it. It was a huge fight. New York, same thing every year. Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah, there was an interview on the news I saw once. It wasn't supposed to be funny, but I found it funny. The reporter went up to some guy and was like, sir, what are you going to be doing for Indigenous Peoples Day? And he was like, let me tell you something, it's Columbus Day. I'm sick and tired of people coming in and changing the name. We're proud of that day. It's Christopher Columbus. It's Columbus Day. It's not going to change. In fact, how would you feel if somebody came along, took something that's been around for a long time and just decided to switch it and call it something else? Huh? How would you feel? I was like, but sir, isn't that the spirit of Columbus Day? I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of Indigenous Peoples Day, the title. I don't like it. I think it's a cop-out. I don't think it's specific enough. It's lazy. You know, Indigenous Peoples Day. Which Indigenous people? Where? How? Give me something, you know? You know what I liked about Columbus Day? Is that it was specific. Yeah. It was a specific, inspiring story of a man by the name Christopher Columbus, who believed against all odds that he could sail the wrong way around the world and get to India from the other side. Nobody believed in him. Yeah. He was like, I'm gonna do this. They were like, you can't do it, Chris. And he was like, I'm gonna do it. They're like, you can't do it, Chris. He's like, I'm gonna do it. They're like, you can't do it, Chris. And he raised money. He fought for years. He finally got the ships and he sailed the wrong way around the world and he didn't do it. Not only did he not land on the other side of India, he found himself in a place called the Caribbean, and he was like, this is India. And the people there were like, I don't know if you've been eating some of the herb we've been leaving about, but this is totally not India. And they're like, this is India, and you guys are Indians. They're like, brother, we are not Indians. He's like, I know Indians when I don't see them. You're Indians. You're just on the far side, so you're West Indians. And he stuck with it. Christopher Columbus stuck with it his entire life. Other explorers would come to him, they'd be like, yo, Chris, I don't think you made it to India. He's like, it's India. They're like, I don't think it's India. He's like, it's India. He died refusing to acknowledge the possibility that he never made it to India. Not only that, my friends, he never set foot in America. Ever. Ever. And yet, he had a public holiday named after him in America. That, my friends, is the inspiring story of how white men can fail up. You know how much confidence you have to pull that off? Nobody else. That is white man confidence. Nobody else possesses that level of confidence. Go the wrong way, end up in the wrong place, call the wrong people the wrong name, and be like, I'm right, give me a holiday. No one else can do that. That is the level of confidence we should all aspire to. Is white man levels of confidence. Women couldn't pull that off. You think any woman should be like, I'm gonna sail the wrong way around the earth? They'd be like, burn her, she's a witch. You think people of color could have pulled that off? You think black people could pull that off? Wow, really? Black people just gonna sail around the world, wrong way around, get to the place they're not supposed to be, probably get arrested for trespassing. Be like, what are you doing here? Be like, man, my bad, man. I thought I was getting to India, man. My bad, man. I apologize. Man, I don't even know what I was thinking, man. You know what, man? We should have never messed with ships. It never turns out good, man. I apologize, man. This won't happen again. Why would you want to bury your history? There's so much joy, there's so much to learn. You know? It feels like America's moving in that direction. You know, it wants less and less of its history, wants less and less context. You look what's happening with textbooks. Places like Florida, they want to ban textbooks or cut out the parts of the textbooks that have slavery in the books. And now parents are fighting. Parents are fighting. They're like, oh, no, take the slavery out. It's making the kids feel bad. And other parents are like, keep the slavery in. It's teaching the children. And these parents are fighting back and forth. I'm like, why? What you don't need to be fighting about. No one should be fighting about this. Kids don't read textbooks. They watch TikTok. If you want to get to the kids, that's where you gotta be. There was slavery. Ships came. Yeah, they. I'll be honest, I don't think that textbook thing is like a real issue. I feel like it's one of those manufactured issues that often happens in America that gets people riled up and gets them fired up, fighting about something that was never an issue to begin with, you know? And the reason I say this is because that's honestly what I believe. I feel like in America, politicians have done a really good job of tricking Americans into fighting about issues that were never an issue to begin with, so that you don't pay attention to the issues that actually are. You know? If they can get you fighting about what's in a textbook, you don't pay attention to the fact that inflation is out of control. You don't pay attention to the fact that rents are out of control. People cannot afford to live anywhere. Your salaries have never kept up with inflation. Corporations steal billions and billions of dollars from their employees with no ramifications. You don't pay attention to any of that. You pay attention to what's catchy. It's easy to keep up with. It keeps you going. You know? Ooh, can trans people use public bathrooms? Ooh. It's manufactured. Who was actually dealing with this issue? And I mean this, honestly. Who was actually dealing with this issue? You know what they did? Some politician out there figured out. They go, here's a small story affecting a few people in a random place. I'm gonna make it seem like this is a nationwide issue. And then everyone starts fighting about it. But who? Who was really dealing with it? Huh? Who of you here has ever been in a situation where you were in a bathroom and all of a sudden a skirmish broke out and you heard people being like, excuse me, is this the gender that you were born with? Does it coincide with the sign on the door? Is your genitalia matching this? Can I see it? Right? Who's ever seen that? Nobody. Nobody. But they make us fight about it because it's catchy. Who can use which bathroom? Who cares? Who cares? I mean it. Who cares? I know someone will be like, oh, but trans people care. They want to know if they can use a public bathroom. Yeah, use whichever bathroom you want. Who's going to stop you? No, seriously, it's a public toilet. Who is going to stop you? You tell me who's going to enforce that law. We can't even enforce the idea that people should shit into the toilet. But you think magically they're gonna figure out if you were born this way? Use whichever one you want. Why are we wasting our time? Other people are like, oh, we're gonna fight because you gotta know who's using. Let me tell you something. If you are spending enough time to know the genitalia of the other people in a public bathroom, you're the creep. I'm worried about you. There is a simple rule to every public toilet around the world, and that rule is you get in, you pay no attention to anyone else, you hold your breath, and you get out. You're standing around staring at other people. Like every man in this room knows, when we use the toilet, what do? We get in. Public toilet, you stare dead ahead. You pee, you do your thing. You do not look to either side. If you're fidgety, you look up, you look down. You do not look at anyone else. The guy next to you could start choking. You don't turn your head, you don't shake, you don't move. You hear him like, you be like, hey man, hey, you all right? Yo, hey man, you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Hey man, are you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Don't look at me! What are we doing? What are we fighting about? Public bathrooms. And if you know your history, you'll know this happens all the time in America. It happens over and over and over again. There was a time when women had to fight to use public bathrooms in America. Imagine that. There was literally a time when women weren't allowed to use public bathrooms all across America, and they had to fight. And there were men who were angry. They're like, this is crazy. You're gonna have women in public bathrooms? That's insane. Like, how does it work? Huh? What, they're gonna come in there while we're peeing? And then what, they're gonna look at our wieners? Huh? And they're gonna laugh? Huh? Think about this, ladies. There was a time when women were first allowed to step into the workplace where there were no public bathrooms that they could use. So ladies, if you were out and about back then, you needed to pee, you needed to poo, you had to go home. Yeah, and I say poo theoretically, I don't know if you actually do. No, I don't think any guy does, let's be honest. We don't. Like, we assume this on a biological level, but I don't know for certain that any woman actually... In fact, any man in here, think of any woman in your life. Do you know the last time she pooed? I don't think you know. I don't think you know. There is no forensic evidence to back up that claim. There is no smell. There is no stain. There is no nothing. And ladies, I don't know who's doing your bathroom PR, but they're doing a stellar job. Stellar job. Women go to the bathroom, smells better when they come out of it. How? You never know when a lady's pooing. Never. Because also, women keep the same amount of time. That's the most impressive thing. You give nothing away. Yeah, a woman's gonna go pee. It takes 10 minutes. She goes to the bathroom, right? Gets there, tinkle, 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 comes out, washes her hands, powders her face, texts on the phone a bit, comes back to the table. You have no clue. Yeah, she's gonna go poo, same thing, 10 minutes. Goes to the bathroom, does a thing, pellets, comes back out, wash her hands, powder the nose, text her friends, get back out there. You have no clue. With men, you know exactly what we're doing. Discretion is not our forte. You know when every single man is gonna go pee. Why? 2 minutes. Off to the bathroom, we're in there. Quickest thing ever. It's like a NASCAR pit stop. Yeah, we get in, we pee, we come back out, act like we're washing our hands, and we're back. How do you know when we're gonna take a dump? Because it's obvious. We go to the bathroom, never come back. That's the last time you'll ever see us. Your family's putting up wanted posters in the restaurant. Have you seen this man? Imagine, people were fighting about bathrooms. This every time in America, every time. There was a time when black people had to fight to use public bathrooms. Huh? Same thing. Black people were like, why can we not use public bathrooms? And again, people were angry. This is crazy. You're gonna have black people in the public bathroom? How does that even work, huh? So what, they're gonna be standing there while I'm peeing, huh? And they're gonna be looking at my wiener, huh? And they're gonna laugh, huh? Yo, I'm old enough to remember when there was a discussion in America about whether gay people could use public bathrooms. This was an actual topic of discussion. I remember seeing people on the news being interviewed. They'd be like, do you think that gay men should be allowed into the same bathrooms as straight men? I'd be like, look, I don't mind what they do. If they keep it to themselves, that's fine. But, just answer me this. How's it gonna work, huh? So what, you're in the bathroom with them and then what? Like he's gay and I'm just standing there and I'm peeing, huh? And he's looking at my wiener, huh? And then he grabs it, huh? And he starts yanking on it, huh? He just starts tugging away and I get hard and I'm enjoying it, huh? And then this is one of the best experiences I've ever had, huh? And then I start coming back weekly, hoping I'll bump into him, and I do, huh? And then at some point we agree to meet outside a nice little restaurant that's cozy and get to know each other, huh? And then a few years later we get married and our families are joined and we live happily ever after, huh? Is that what you want? Why? Public bathrooms. That's why you shouldn't bury your history. Yeah, because if you know it's happened, you know what to predict. You understand why it happened in the first place. Germany does that in a truly astounding way. Look, it's not perfect. It'll never be perfect. But Germany is one of the only countries in the world that has actively paid reparations for what they did. One of the only countries in the world that has actively apologized. And one of the only countries in the world that's set about changing how they see themselves and how the world sees them. After World War II, Germany changed a bunch of laws. They changed the iconography of the country, what you could hang, where you could hang it. They changed their national anthem. Yeah. Imagine that, they changed the national anthem. They felt that the national anthem was a nationalist song that the Nazis used to inspire people to think the wrong things, and they changed it. The original song was a song called Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. And you've probably heard it like in old movies or whatever. The song went like, Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles auf der Welt. And translated into English, it means, Germany, Germany, over everything in the world. And clearly they meant it. Yeah, where most anthems are theoretical, Germans are precise. But after World War II, they were like, we can't have that same attitude. And so they changed the anthem. And new lyrics. The new lyrics are, Einigkeit und Rechts und Freiheit für das deutsche Vaterland. Which translated into English is, unity and rights and freedom for all the people who live in Germany. Which is adorable. It's adorable. I mean, they may as well have made the song, sorry, sorry, we're so sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry for what we did. I appreciate that they did it, but I wouldn't have gone that far. No, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have gone that far. I think Über alles is terrible. That's not a good way to think. But you still gotta have a bit of kick in your anthem, you know? You still gotta have like a, you know? Yeah, I would have found like a middle ground. Mine would have been like, Deutschland, Deutschland, irgendwo in den Top 5. Nicht über alles auf der Welt. Because we are definitely in the top 5 when you think about it. America's number 1, and then you have Great Britain, and then you have France and Spain, and then we are at number 5. Well, actually, Spain is not better than us, so we are number 4. Number 4 in the, oh yeah, but France, their economy is not that strong, so maybe we are number 3 in the world, then you have England above, oh wait, oh, Brexit was not a smart idea, so maybe we are number 2 and America is number, oh, their elections are not that stable, so then maybe we are über alles auf der Welt! I'll be honest, I don't think that textbook thing is like a real issue. I feel like it's one of those manufactured issues that often happens in America that gets people riled up and gets them fired up, fighting about something that was never an issue to begin with, you know? And the reason I say this is because that's honestly what I believe. I feel like in America, politicians have done a really good job of tricking Americans into fighting about issues that were never an issue to begin with, so that you don't pay attention to the issues that actually are. You know? If they can get you fighting about what's in a textbook, you don't pay attention to the fact that inflation is out of control, you don't pay attention to the fact that rents are out of control, people cannot afford to live anywhere, your salaries have never kept up with inflation, corporations steal billions and billions of dollars from their employees with no ramifications. You don't pay attention to any of that. You pay attention to what's catchy. It's easy to keep up with. It keeps you going. You know? Ooh, can trans people use public bathrooms? Ooh. It's manufactured. Who was actually dealing with this issue? And I mean this, honestly. Who was actually dealing with this issue? You know what they did? Some politician out there figured out. They go, here's a small story affecting a few people in a random place. I'm going to make it seem like this is a nationwide issue. And then everyone starts fighting about it. But who? Who was really dealing with it? Huh? Who of you here has ever been in a situation where you were in a bathroom and all of a sudden a skirmish broke out and you heard people being like, excuse me, is this the gender that you were born with? Does it coincide with the sign on the door? Is your genitalia matching this? Can I see it right now? Who's ever seen that? Nobody. Nobody. But they make us fight about it because it's catchy. who can use which bathroom. Who cares? Who cares? I mean it. Who cares? I know someone will be like, oh, but trans people care. They want to know if they can use a public bathroom. Yeah, use whichever bathroom you want. Who's going to stop you? No, seriously, it's a public toilet. Who is going to stop you? You tell me who's going to enforce that law. We can't even enforce the idea that people should shit into the toilet. But you think magically they're going to figure out if you were born this way? Use whichever one you want. Why are we wasting our time? Other people are like, oh, we're going to fight because you got to know who's using. Let me tell you something. If you are spending enough time to know the genitalia of the other people in a public bathroom, you're the creep. I'm worried about you. There is a simple rule to every public toilet around the world, and that rule is you get in, you pay no attention to anyone else, you hold your breath, and you get out. You're standing around staring at other people. Like every man in this room knows, when we use the toilet, what do? We get in. Public toilet, you stare dead ahead. You pee, you do your thing. You do not look to either side. If you're fidgety, you look up, you look down. You do not look at anyone else. The guy next to you could start choking. You don't turn your head, you don't shake, you don't move. You hear him like... You be like, hey man, hey, you alright? Yo, hey man, you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Hey man, are you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Don't look at me! What are we doing? What are we fighting about? Public bathrooms. And if you know your history, you'll know this happens all the time in America. It happens over and over and over again. There was a time when women had to fight to use public bathrooms in America. Imagine that. There was literally a time when women weren't allowed to use public bathrooms all across America, and they had to fight. And there were men who were angry. They're like, this is crazy. You're gonna have women in public bathrooms? That's insane. Like, how does it work? Huh? What, they're gonna come in there while we're peeing? And then what, they're gonna look at our wieners? Huh? And they're gonna laugh? Huh? Think about this, ladies. There was a time when women were first allowed to step into the workplace where there were no public bathrooms that they could use. So ladies, if you were out and about back then, you needed to pee, you needed to poo, you had to go home. Yeah, and I say poo theoretically, I don't know if you actually do. No, I don't think any guy does, let's be honest. We don't. Like, we assume this on a biological level, but I don't know for certain that any woman actually... In fact, any man in here, think of any woman in your life. Do you know the last time she pooed? I don't think you know. I don't think you know. There is no forensic evidence to back up that claim. There is no smell. There is no stain. There is no nothing. And ladies, I don't know who's doing your bathroom PR, but they're doing a stellar job. Stellar job. Women go to the bathroom, smells better when they come out of it. How? You never know when a lady's pooing, never. Because also, women keep the same amount of time. That's the most impressive thing. You give nothing away. Yeah, a woman's gonna go pee, it takes 10 minutes. She goes to the bathroom, right? Gets there, tinkle, 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 comes out, washes her hands, powders her face, texts on the phone a bit, comes back to the table. You have no clue. Yeah, she's gonna go poo, same thing, 10 minutes. Goes to the bathroom, does a thing, pellets, comes back out, wash her hands, powder the nose, text her friends, get back out there. You have no clue. With men, you know exactly what we're doing. Discretion is not our forte. You know when every single man is gonna go pee. Why? 2 minutes. Off to the bathroom, we're in there. Quickest thing ever. It's like a NASCAR pit stop. Yeah, we get in, we pee, we come back out, act like we're washing our hands, and we're back. How do you know when we're gonna take a dump? Because it's obvious. We go to the bathroom, never come back. That's the last time you'll ever see us. Your family's putting up wanted posters in the restaurant. Have you seen this man? Imagine, people were fighting about bathrooms. This every time in America, every time. There was a time when black people had to fight to use public bathrooms. Huh? Same thing. Black people were like, why can we not use public bathrooms? And again, people were angry.
This is crazy. You're gonna have black people in the public bathroom? How does that even work, huh? So what, they're gonna be standing there while I'm peeing, huh? And they're gonna be looking at my wiener, huh? And they're gonna laugh, huh?
I'm old enough to remember when there was a discussion in America about whether gay people could use public bathrooms. This was an actual topic of discussion. I remember seeing people on the news being interviewed. They'd be like, do you think that gay men should be allowed into the same bathrooms as straight men? I'd be like, look, I don't mind what they do. If they keep it to themselves, that's fine. But, just answer me this. How's it gonna work, huh? So what, you're in the bathroom with them, and then what? Like he's gay and I'm just standing there and I'm peeing, huh? And he's looking at my wiener, huh? And then he grabs it, huh? And he starts yanking on it, huh? He just starts tugging away and I get hard and I'm enjoying it, huh? And then this is one of the best experiences I've ever had, huh? And then I start coming back weekly, hoping I'll bump into him, and I do, huh? And then at some point we agree to meet outside a nice little restaurant that's cozy and get to know each other, huh? And then a few years later we get married and our families are joined and we live happily ever after, huh? Is that what you want? Wow. Public bathrooms. That's why you shouldn't bury your history. Yeah, because if you know it's happened, you know what to predict. You understand why it happened in the first place.